Have you ever wondered why great civilizations, despite their incredible achievements, eventually fall into decline? Throughout history, empires have risen to prominence only to face challenges that lead to their downfall. Today we're going to explore the reasons behind the decline of two remarkable empires, the Han Dynasty of China and the Roman Empire. Then, we'll consider how we can apply these lessons to our world today to avoid a similar fate. Introduction to the Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire. The Han Dynasty ruled China from 206 BCE to 220 CE, and the Roman Empire dominated the Mediterranean region from 27 BCE to 476 CE. Both were powerful, influential, and left lasting legacies in history. But despite their strengths, they faced significant problems that led to their decline. Let's delve into these issues to understand what went wrong. 12 factors leading to the decline of great empires. 1. Population growth. As populations increase, resources such as food, water, and land become scarce. In the Han Dynasty, this scarcity led to competition and social unrest. A significant event was the Yellow Turban Rebellion, fueled by economic hardship and social inequality. Peasants, struggling to survive, revolted against the ruling class. Similarly, in the Roman Empire, growing populations in cities put a strain on resources, leading to instability and discontent among citizens. 2. Greed. When individuals or groups focus too much on accumulating wealth and power, they often neglect the needs of the people they are supposed to serve. In Rome, wealthy elites exploited the poor and used their influence to gain political power, widening the gap between the rich and the poor. This exploitation led to social unrest and contributed to the empire's downfall. The Han Dynasty also suffered from officials who prioritized personal gain over public service, leading to corruption and inequality. 3. Expanding land size. As empires grow, managing vast territories becomes increasingly difficult. The Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire both expanded their borders extensively. This overexpansion led to logistical challenges, communication breakdowns, and difficulties in enforcing laws effectively. Distant provinces became hard to control, and rebellions became more frequent. The sheer size of the empires strained their resources and administrative capabilities. 4. Inflation. When the value of currency declines, prices rise, and people struggle to afford basic necessities. In the later years of the Roman Empire, significant inflation occurred as the value of Roman currency decreased. This economic hardship led to social unrest and decreased trust in the government. The economy suffered as people lost confidence in the stability of their money. 5. Political corruption. Corrupt politicians undermine the rule of law and erode public trust. In both the Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire, officials used their positions to enrich themselves and their families rather than serve the public good. Such corruption weakened governmental structures, leading to inefficiency and disarray. Citizens became disillusioned with their leaders, further destabilizing society. 6. The gap between the rich and the poor. When a small elite controls most of the wealth, resentment builds among the masses. In both empires, wealth inequality led to social unrest, increased crime, and even revolutions. The common people felt ignored and exploited, which undermined social cohesion and contributed to the decline of these societies. 7. Poor leadership. Incompetent or out-of-touch leaders make decisions that weaken their empires. Both the Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire experienced periods of weak leadership. Emperors who were more interested in personal indulgences than in governing failed to address critical issues. Their neglect allowed problems to fester, contributing to the eventual collapse of their empires. 8. Military spending, militarization. While a strong military is important, overspending can lead to neglect in other crucial areas like infrastructure, education, and social welfare. Both empires invested heavily in their militaries to defend their borders and expand their territories. This militarization strained their economies and diverted resources from domestic needs, leading to economic hardship and social unrest. 9. Declines in public health. When diseases spread unchecked, they weaken the population and make societies more vulnerable. The Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire both experienced significant outbreaks of disease. These health crises reduced the workforce, decreased military effectiveness, and exacerbated economic problems. The inability to control diseases contributed to the decline of these empires. 10. Declining morals, moral decay. A loss of ethical values can lead to corrupt and destructive behavior. In both empires, moral decay manifested in increased corruption, indulgence in excess, and a decline in civic responsibility. This erosion of values weakened social structures and undermined the empires from within. 11. Disconnected leadership. When senators, assemblies, or governing bodies are out of touch with the common people, they make decisions that alienate citizens. In the Roman Empire, the Senate was often dominated by wealthy elites more interested in preserving their own power than in serving the public good. Similarly, in the Han Dynasty, leadership became distant from the needs of the populace. This disconnect led to unrest and instability as people felt their voices were not heard. 12. Divisive issues. Societies can be weakened by internal conflicts over critical problems that go unaddressed. Both the Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire faced significant internal divisions, be it over succession, religious disputes, or social policies. These unresolved issues led to fragmentation and made it easier for external forces to destabilize the empires. Parallels with the modern United States. Now let's reflect on the United States today. As with all great societies, the U.S. faces challenges that, if left unaddressed, could lead to decline. But by learning from history, we can strive to avoid the mistakes of the past. 1. Population growth. The U.S. population is growing, and with that comes increased demand for resources like food, water, and housing. Managing this growth sustainably is crucial to prevent competition for resources that could lead to social unrest. 2. Greed. Economic greed can lead to neglect of the broader society's needs. When wealth accumulation becomes a priority over the well-being of others, inequality rises. Addressing corporate greed and ensuring that economic policies serve all people can help mitigate this issue. 3. Expanding influence. While the U.S. isn't expanding territorially, it has a significant global presence. Overextending in international affairs can strain resources and distract from domestic issues. Balancing global responsibilities with national priorities is essential. 4. Inflation. Inflation affects the cost of living and can strain household budgets. By implementing sound economic policies, the government can control inflation and maintain economic stability. 5. Political corruption. Corruption erodes trust in government. Transparency, accountability, and ethical leadership are vital to ensure that officials serve the public good rather than personal interests. 6. The gap between the rich and the poor. Income inequality is a pressing issue. When wealth is concentrated among a few, it can lead to social tensions. Policies that promote fair wages, education, and opportunities can help bridge this gap. 7. Poor leadership. Effective leadership is crucial. Leaders must be competent and responsive to the needs of all citizens. By holding leaders accountable and promoting those who prioritize the public interest, we can strengthen our society. 8. Military spending, militarization. While national defense is important, excessive military spending can divert resources from vital domestic programs. Striking a balance ensures that the country is secure without neglecting education, healthcare, and infrastructure. 9. Declines in public health. Recent events have highlighted the importance of public health. Investing in healthcare systems and preventive measures protects the population and strengthens societal resilience. 10. Declining morals, moral decay. Maintaining ethical standards and values is key to social cohesion. Encouraging integrity, respect, and community involvement can combat moral decay. 11. Disconnected leadership. Leaders must stay connected to the people they serve. By engaging with communities and understanding their concerns, policymakers can make decisions that reflect the needs of all citizens. 12. Divisive issues. Addressing divisive issues through open dialogue and collaboration is essential. Finding common ground and working together can strengthen unity and prevent fragmentation. But what can I do? So, what can we do to avoid the fate of the Han Dynasty and the Roman Empire? History teaches us that recognizing and addressing these challenges is crucial. Each of us has a role to play. Shaping a better future. Imagine you're a leader today. How would you address these issues? Here are some ideas to consider. Promote sustainable development to manage population growth effectively. Implement policies that reduce economic inequality and ensure fair opportunities for all. Let's balance international commitments with domestic needs to prevent overextension. Adopt sound economic policies to control inflation and maintain stability. Strengthen laws to prevent corruption and promote transparency in government. And encourage ethical leadership that prioritizes the public good. A balanced military spending with investments in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Invest in public health initiatives and ensure access to quality healthcare. Foster community values and encourage civic responsibility. Ensure that leaders remain connected to the people through engagement and representation. Address divisive issues through inclusive dialogue and collaborative problem-solving. Was there anything in this list that you particularly agreed or disagreed with? What additional ideas or suggestions would you have? How would you go about implementing such changes? Be sure to include some responses or suggestions in the comments section for this video. Wrapping things up. By learning from the past, we can make informed decisions to build a stronger future. Each action we take contributes to the well-being of our society. So ask yourself, what can you do today to make a difference? One final thought: great civilizations don't have to fall. Together we can address our challenges and create a legacy of prosperity and unity. Let's learn from history and work towards a better tomorrow.